What is up, ladies and gents? Welcome to the Weekly Square Gamers podcast, where some dudes get around and talk some shit about some video games. On Mike, we got Pedro and Jay. What is going on, guys? What is up? What are y'all doing?
People that disable comments are pussies. I just want to say that right off the get-go.
Disabled comments are...
Yeah, I'm not going to give any context. Just if you disable context, you're a pussy. The end.
Oh, wow. That's a bold statement,
What's funny
Jay.
is Dro knows exactly what I'm talking about, bro.
Well,
Jay
you
with the hot
have to
takes
fill me in.
immediately off rip. Nah, it's just based off some internet drama regarding yesterday's
a
Women's
YouTube
Day.
personality,
Yeah. You know,
good stuff though.
word. Lesson of the day: don't disable your comments, you pussy. You're gonna write a hot take. Let people comment.
I like derailing Mike right out the get-go. It's the best, dude.
Yeah, that's
No,
so
you're
funny.
not derailing me. It's just fucking disabling comment. We're over here with disabling comments and fucking Nintendo's fucking copyright flagging everyone on the goddamn face of the planet.
Yeah, dude, that shit got wild. Anyways, what's going on?
What? You want to ignore that topic? That's a great topic. Why is Nintendo copyright flagging everybody on YouTube, except their paid advertisements?
That's what they do, bro. That's their social, or that's not their social media. That's their streaming. If you don't have a written contract for with them to stream, they're gonna flag you. That's just their MO. That's what they do. So for anybody streaming Zelda and/or anything Switch related, be careful. Nintendo will come for you because they want a piece of that pie. Which again is something that when we spoke about the Switch, I wanted to let everybody know if it's not streamer friendly, it may not be the console for you. And right now, they're showing it's not a streamer-friendly console.
No, not at all. But while we're on the topic, let's talk about the Nintendo Switch really quick, guys. Okay. Nintendo Switch. Now, I don't know if you guys agree with me. Do you guys agree with me having a bad launch, or do you guys think it's having a great launch?
Hold on, bro. You can't just be like, yo, y'all agree with me that this is having a bad launch and then not elaborate. Go ahead and talk your shit, bro. Talk your shit, Mike. Talk your shit.
Bro, it's... Okay. I'm pretty sure whoever's listening to this shit already knows what's going on with the fucking Switch. Joy-Cons disconnect. You can't put anything on the Switch surface or it ruins it. Save data, you can't move it from off the console. So if you buy a new console or something happens to your Switch, guess what? That 40 hours you just spent in Zelda, gone. The console bricks up. That's rare. It's been reported, but it's not a large amount of consoles. Dead pixels on the screen. And one of the biggest complaints is the dock is scratching the screens. Now, you and I both know half the fucking people who are playing this goddamn thing is on the damn dock. So how many Switches out there right now have scratches on the screen because of the docks were so poorly created and manufactured that Nintendo didn't see this coming? Now, in my eyes, that tells me it's a bad launch. There's way too many problems with the actual console at launch. Granted, there's only one great game out right now, and that's Zelda. So, you got one good game and all these problems. Is that not a bad launch, or do you guys not agree?
I'm gonna let you take this.
Pedro.
All right.
Oh, you're gonna let me take it? Okay. All right, I'll take it. I'll say it like this. Bro, this is the type of shit that happens when you launch a new console. And since we're in the age of the internet and, like, everybody has social media at their disposal, even 9-year-olds, everyone's going to report the problems that they have. So when you sell, upwards of over 1 million consoles, you're going to get these cases where shit's bricking or it's got scratches on the screen or this, that, or the other. So, these are isolated cases when it comes to things like that, but I will say that I do feel like it is a console that was rushed, and it kind of shows that. But this is when it's great to kind of sit back and just take a wait and see approach and just see like just how isolated these incidences are, and then you kind of let them weasel through the bad consoles, and then if you just wait a little while, wait a good 6 months, then you grab one, bro. That's the way to do it, man, because wouldn't you hate to open up your brand new Nintendo Switch and the thing is brick, man? Like, there's nothing worse than that, bro.
Should you even fucking buy a Switch and in the back of your mind think it's already broken before I even open the damn box? Granted, the Xbox did it with the three red rings of death. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen, but what I'm saying is this console is a $300 console with one game, and it has this many problems. You understand what I'm saying? It does not bode well for Nintendo's situation. Granted, not everyone's gonna have it, not everyone's gonna have the problems, and that's a good thing. But at the end of the day, looking at everything that's on paper right now, what's going on with the consoles, this is a problem.
It's pretty scary, dude. It's definitely scary. And one thing that I did see in that video that went viral of people putting that Joy-Con controller in upside down, apparently it like fuses itself to the tablet. So I mean, that type of shit has me scared. And it's just like further vindication that I'm glad that I'm waiting till this fall to pick up a Switch. You know what I mean? Because again, those are some of the things that they'll work those kinks out as they go along. So
okay, so Pedro, I know you talked your way out of buying a Switch multiple times this last week. Why are you holding out on your opinions, bro?
I mean, I didn't buy. First of all, I didn't talk myself out of a Switch because of the issues that have been reported. As an early adopter myself, I understand the problem with being in cutting edge or on the cutting edge of technology. The biggest example I have is the Google Pixel. I bought it the week it came out, and what ended up happening? There were reports coming out that Google Pixels have Bluetooth issues where it drops. The microphone doesn't work. I mean, why would you buy a phone if the microphone isn't going to work? And the primary purpose of the phone is to talk to people. Issues with the screen not working properly. And yet, I'm very happy with mine. I've experienced a little bit of issues with the Bluetooth and things like that, but I'm still happy with my purchase. I'm saying that to say this. I understand the issues that come with the Switch. I understand the risks that one would take purchasing one. But what was holding me back was not, if I open it, let's say I open this and this is going to be a dud or a brick out the box, or, God forbid I put in the Joy-Con wrong, or, oh my God, if I put it in the dock and then it comes out and I get a whole bunch of micro scratches on the screen, I'm going to flip out. None of that has crossed my mind. What has crossed my mind and what has held me back personally from purchasing a Switch is the barrier of entry, man. The price to enter into the Switch market, to me, is a little high. You got to buy the Switch, you got to buy Zelda, and then you got to buy the Joy-Con control or the Pro controller, because the two Joy-Cons in that regular controller setup that comes in the box just doesn't do it for me, especially with the small buttons. So that's another $130 that I got to add on top of the $300 purchase plus tax. And that's almost $450 plus an SD card. So it's almost $500 that I got to spend that I get pull out of pocket before I get a quote unquote complete Switch bundle. And to me, it's just not worth it at the moment, especially when you're only going to play Zelda and maybe Bomberman from the video that I've seen. So that's the reason why I personally haven't bought a Switch. I don't buy into these, to the 12-minute video of all the issues that it has. People are acting like this is the next, device.
Red Rings of Death?
Well, not even Red Rings of Death. The next technological device is going to be recalled. This isn't a Samsung Galaxy Note issue where it's exploding. This isn't Red Rings of Death. This isn't even the Yellow Light of Death for the PlayStation. These are, slight isolated events, and someone decided to take a compilation or put a compilation together, and it's 12 minutes long. I wouldn't worry about it, to be honest with you. Nintendo has far more pertinent things to worry about than whether or not their hardware is defective. They need to justify the barrier of entry with software.
Okay, so
and they need to mature that library, bro.
The reason why I bring this up is because guys like us, we go into this, but they're not going to make millions off of us three or the Square Gamers group. They're not going to make $1 million off it. They're going to make $1 million off the general population. Now, if the general population is seeing this in my opinion, this doesn't go well. I mean, there's still going to be fanboys that are still probably waiting for the Switch to come in stock to get it. Maybe they're the people who are actually waiting for the second shipment in from Amazon. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, this is still being out there. This is still out in the internet, and there's like we said, like Pedro, this doesn't bother you. This is part of living on the bleeding edge of technology. We understand that. Now, is there anything you guys can say to the consumers and future buyers of the Switch about these problems? Because I mean, the only one you truly have to worry about, to be honest with you, would probably be the scratches on the screen and the bricking up. The save data can be fixed in a patch. Joy-Cons can be fixed in a patch. The dead pixels, I don't think there's very many cases out there. You understand what I'm saying? Because of a simple reason, the screen is touchscreen. So scratching on your screen is gonna ruin your experience.
What I'd like to tell the consumers is just wait. Just if you were on the fence about it, don't buy into the hype right now. Like, see what they have to say at E3. See what the future is going to look like, and how fast you're going to get games in your hand, and how fast you're going to have like more than 1 or 2 reasons to play this thing. Because as far as we know right now, outside of Zelda and Mario coming later this fall, I mean, like, what is the actual reason to play this thing? And I don't want to hear the crap about this thing's going to be an indie machine. Like, if I'm spending $300, I don't want to be playing indies on this thing. Back to the barrier of entry thing. Like, I want to play some compelling first-party titles. I want to play some new IP. This is the things that Nintendo needs to show consumers, and I think that they need to have a really strong E3 showing, because as of right now, this launch window is kind of a joke. And you have those Nintendo fanboys that are making this thing seem like it's better than what it actually is, and they're looking at this thing with rose-colored glasses, and I'm not going to be that guy. And I usually buy into the hype, but guys, I've been burned too many times. I got burned by the Vita. I'm not going to get burned again. So that's my message to consumers: just wait.
You, Pedro?
I mean, I would unfortunately have to agree with Jay. I think that the Switch is a great piece of technology. I think it's revolutionary. I think it's going to be something special once the library matures. But at the moment, I would definitely wait until the library matures a little bit, because you're only going to go so far with Zelda.
Well, yeah, I mean, because if we're the only thing I need to say, I mean, I'm gonna say, other than what you guys already said, because I agree, let it wait. The actual titles for some gamers are gonna get a lot better coming this summer. You're gonna get a lot of those little JRPGs that they teased back when they revealed the Switch to begin with. A lot of games are coming out towards the end of the summer, so summer will probably be the best time to wait to where you can get into a Switch. Is right before I want to say August is when the game starts. Just the JRPGs and stuff start rolling in. Try to get your hands on one then. But as of right now, I mean, it's the price is way too high considering of what's out right now. So that's it for Switch, guys. We're not gonna talk Switch anymore today.
Let's switch to a new subject.
Hey,
or topic, I should say. This ain't fucking high school.
He's on one today. Let's do this.
All right, guys. It's been a pretty good week for gaming. We had two big games come out this week. We had Nier Automata and Ghost Recon Wildlands. We're gonna start off with Ghost Recon Wildlands, guys. Jay and I got to play the beta. Pedro got to play a little bit, and Jay and I spent a couple nights on it. Now, Jay, right now the game overall, what should I say? Overall review scores and outlooks of the game coming from, people who are playing the game already and reviewed it, isn't doing too good number wise. But to what you and I have played, yeah, the game had problems, but the game was actually rather fun once we actually just got our hands into the game and got into the game world and fucking blowing up trucks and getting in our helicopters and fucking Jay crashing into the side of a hill. You know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff you can't, you just can't, create out of nowhere. That's straight up like friendship chemistry in a big open world 4-player co-op game that this is. Do you agree with what people are saying? Because right now Metascore is 78 and IGN gave it a 7.9. So the game has its problems,
Yeah.
but do you think it deserves those scores?
Well, I was gonna say that a 78 for a game like this seems right at home with me. I mean, this isn't a game that's reinventing the wheel. It's a shooter. It's gonna live and die by that. It's gonna get a massive amounts of shooter fans to play it, and I think a 78 is a great score for a game like this. It's not doing nothing new, so that might be indicative of why the score is what it is. If you just want to get on and have dumb fun, this is the perfect game to do that with, just like you were talking about, just hopping in the helicopter and then flying away and crashing into the side of a mountain and having those fun moments with your bros. That's what this game is. I mean, it's going to be another, what was it? The Division. Remember when we were into that game, Pedro? Like,
Yep.
This is that same type of game. It's going to be a fun distraction. And I mean, for $60, I think it's totally worth it. And again, I think 78 is actually a great score, So I'm still hype about it. Ubisoft recently announced the end game content that we're going to be getting. It's got the new 4-player PvP mode, which is being called a tactical PvP mode, which looks really fun. And then we got 2 new story missions that we get to play. I think the game's awesome, man, and I'm hype on it.
Well, I enjoyed the game, and I necessarily won't say it's worth $60, but if you do have a group of at least 2 to 3 friends that are buying the game, it's definitely worth the $60 at that point. Just because you can always just hop on with your buddies and play this game and have a blast doing random shit and blowing up random shit and killing random people. That's probably the coolest things about the game is the actual co-op aspect of the game. Which
Yeah, and like I was going to say real quick that while I'm thinking about it, because it's something I always think about and I never address, I think we're starting to see a trend here with these games that are so multiplayer focused. I think this is like these types of games are going to go away, guys. Like, developers put so much into creating this online ecosystem, and then people's attention is just like being pulled so many different ways now because you have the Nintendo Switch, because you have PSVR. Mobile gaming is getting better, and like they're having a harder time holding the audience. So I mean, like, if multiplayer gaming means a lot to you, you guys need to buy this game, because otherwise, I mean, I think the days of these massive online games and these co-op games, I think we're going to start to see them start to trend away, and we're going to see more single player experiences like Uncharted 4 and Horizon Zero Dawn start to make its way back into the picture.
And
But I'm curious to see what Pedro has to say
well,
about the game.
I'm gonna cut you in real quick. If that happens, that'll be the end of online gaming. The best thing about playing games, especially online, is playing with your friends. I don't ever buy a game for the story mode, other than it being an RPG. If I go into a game knowing that it's a story or offline game only or a single player game only, yes. But I don't buy too many games like that. A lot of my games I play are multiplayer, because at the end of the day, a lot of people like us that work, 8 to 5s or 40 hours a week, we can't go out and buy every game. So every game we buy has to have some kind of replayability. There's not very many offline or campaign or single player games that actually can give you $60 worth of gameplay. Horizon Dawn is the first game in a very long time that's worth the $60 for a single player experience. And that's the way I feel. I played plenty of other first person.
What about Resident Evil, bro? What about Resident Evil, bro?
Resident Evil was a great game, but Resident Evil also, a week after the game came out, the fucking very first DLC that was on disc came out. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, see, that's that bullshit.
Exactly.
All right, Pedro, thoughts on Ghost Recon? I gotta hear it, bro. Yes or no?
Ghost Recon, I'm gonna go with a solid no. And it's not because the game isn't fun and there's not a lot of potential for it. I think there's potential, for the three of us to buy the game, get on, play for hours, experiment, and have some pretty good fun. I mean, it looks like The Division, but set in a Latin American country fighting drug dealers. It looks super cool, but like The Division, I don't feel like after I spend the $60, it's going to give me everything that I want out of the game. It's also a game that, like, if neither one of you two are on or feel like playing it, I'm not going to play it. So it's just going to get lost in the shuffle. So at this moment, I don't think that for $60, it's worth it for me and for people like me who purchase games to play with other people. If those other people aren't in the mood or just aren't available to play it, the game's just not going to get played. And I got a feeling that that'll happen more often than not. Especially when you think Ghost Recon came out this week, then they have an entire week to take over the hearts and minds of gamers. And then next week, it's over. It's over for them, bro. Because you've got Mass Effect Andromeda coming out on the 21st. So are we really gonna spend $60 on a game where Mass Effect is coming out and it's just gonna take over the zeitgeist of the gaming scene, for lack of a better term?
Yeah,
it's poorly timed, bro. This game's gonna get buried. You're absolutely right. And then it came out right alongside Horizon, which is, a game that's far better. And then it came out right around the Nintendo Switch. So this game, man, it's just, it kind of just it got sent out to die. But I mean, at the same time, it's one of those things that, the developers, the publishers, they pick these dates in advance, and could have been one of those things where it's like, well, there's no good time to put it out this year where it's not around something. So, it's just crazy.
Fit it in when
we'll
you
see
can.
Though. It could be a commercial success, and I'm totally wrong. I just don't see that being the case.
No, and it probably isn't the case because Pedro brings up a good point.
I don't see nobody talking about it on the internet.
Exactly.
Bro.
Pedro brings up the point is too divisionist, and other than the fans of Division are probably sour tasted, or have a bad taste in their mouth from Division, and they see this game and they think Division.
And that was a great game, bro, but it was just like, they couldn't figure out like the dark zone. Like I think if they could figure out how to make the dark zone more intriguing and like give you reason to want to spend time there, if they could figure that out, bro, and crack that code, then they'd have another Halo not Halo, what's the other one? Destiny on their hands. But until they figure that out, man, like I just really think Ghost Recon Wildlands is in trouble, dude. And I don't know if you guys saw this pop up in the news, and I don't want to get too derailed, but they were talking about the Division Year 2, and it's not sounding too pretty. So
yeah,
they are doing it all for free though, so which is pretty dope.
Not all for free, if I'm not mistaken. I think only some of it's free, right? Or is it all free?
No, it's all 100% free.
Oh, damn. Okay, well, now you've kind of striked my fancy. Now I might need to look a little more into that.
Well, not only did Ghost Recon Wildlands come out this week, we also had Nier Automata came out this week on Tuesday, and I we have a review being in the works about this game, and I am actually really excited, bro. It's a JRPG set. It's kind of like it's weird. The way I look at it is you have Horizon Zero Dawn come out, and it's a post-apocalyptic world being taken over by machines, American style. And then you have this game, same premise, but from a Japanese point of view. It is actually really cool. Two sides of a different coin. It's actually pretty dope, and I'm excited to get my hands on it and actually dig deep into this game. It got a 90 Metascore, and it's got a 8.9 on IGN. And yes, that's actually a pretty good score. Not only that, their critics and the actual Jay, because I know you're a Metacritic guy, Metascore through the critics and the actual users are almost spot on. You don't see that too often, do you?
Yeah, that rarely happens. Yeah, you don't normally see that. But I think the game looks dope, man. Like, I'm not even into JRPGs, but the art style looked really cool, and just all the gameplay footage I've seen of the game, like it looks really fluid and fast paced. But for people that are fans of the genre, man, like that's
game looks dope. It's done by Platinum Game, or it's done with Square Enix and Platinum Games. So the game is going to be a lot of fun. Yeah. Make sure you check out our YouTube because I will put up my impressions on there.
I thought this was going to be the game that kind of came out and was like our first like bad reviewed game of the year. But man, I'm telling you, bro, we're like 2 months and a week in, and like it's just hit after hit this year, man. Like I'm telling you right now, guys, this is going to go down as the best year in gaming. I'm telling you right now.
Speaking of the best year of gaming, our boy Pedro says it himself. Middle-earth Shadow of War just got a gameplay reveal trailer, and Pedro himself says it's going to be the game of the year. So we're going to hold him to it, guys. We're going to hold him to it. Pedro, take this away, because I know you're a huge fan of Shadow of Mordor. You have actually purchased the game multiple times to play it when it was on sale. So bless me with your opinion on this gameplay trailer they showed.
I mean, Jay and I have the same opinion of the original game. That game was revolutionary, very underrated. I think that anybody who hasn't played it needs to give it a shot. Don't be afraid of the Lord of the Rings lore. I am not a Lord of the Rings guy, and I actually played it upon a recommendation from a friend of mine that was like, bro, you got to get on this. This is like something new. This is something that'll change the way you look at action adventure games. And let me tell you, the Nemesis system is amazing. I love getting into the world, looking at the war chiefs, and seeing the sign of this guy killed. Let's say Jay was playing and the war chief killed Jay, and he shows up in my game. And I can go ahead and avenge his death, and it'll let Jay know that I avenged his death, which is fucking amazing. Graphically, it was good. Gameplay wise, it was great. Story was a little short. I think that it could have been a little bit longer. But it looks like what they're doing is they're improving upon the RPG elements of the game, which were definitely there, but they were. It was a RPG Junior. It was like for, you know how like in SpongeBob they have Weenie Hut and Weenie Hut Junior. Yeah. The RPG Junior was what Shadow of Mordor was. It was just for the soft guys that really don't want to delve deep into RPGs. And this new one, you're delving deep in the RPG world, and it looks like you'll be able to create your own army and promote people to different positions, and they help you out. They come help you in like the boss battles, and you can actually create stories of friendship, betrayal, competition. At first you guys hate each other, but then you turn it around and you guys actually like each other and work towards a common goal. I'm really, 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 really excited for this. This is an adult-themed game, and this will be Game of the Year, hands down. Horizon Zero Dawn is a great game. Legend of Zelda is a great game. But y'all are sleeping on Shadow of War. That is going to captivate the masses this year.
Okay, Pedro, so...
Not to mention, project. It's got a special Project Scorpio edition coming too.
I can see you're mad excited about this game. But the one thing
something you didn't hit on real quick. I want to say this real quick before I forget. Shadow of Mordor. If you're into stealth games, dude, play the game because using the bow and arrow and like kind of ducking around the shadows and taking out enemies, like it's so much fun. And just the strategy involved in the game, it's kind of like a game of chess. And if they just kind of build upon the first one and the second one, then I'm super excited to see like what they have in store. So I just want to add that
because if you guys haven't watched the trailer, I'll make sure we put a link to the Facebook group page and the Facebook page so you can watch the trailer from there. But Pedro, they came to the section of the gameplay trailer where this one orc that apparently you beat his ass and you didn't kill him, so he ended up running away from you, siding with the darkness, and then met you as you were storming the fort, and he literally was just as strong as you, and he had a special curse that you couldn't use your power and your power ring or your ring of power. So the guy had to kill him first before he can do any of his special abilities. That's fucking crazy. Like that amount of detail in the game, it's
yeah,
sick.
Man. What's wild is that it seems like you have your team of war chiefs with you, and then I think it's Sauron that
yes.
is the main bad guy. He can go ahead and use the power of darkness or corrupt some of the guys from within and recruit them for on his side. So you always got to be ever vigilant of what's going on in your team, which is always good.
And I think the only sad thing about this is that we don't have an actual solid release date, do we?
Yeah, we do.
We do?
I'll look it up. Give me 1 second.
August something, right?
I believe.
Is it August 22nd?
I think it's right. I think it's at the perfect time where it's after E3 and it's like that dead season.
Oh yeah.
I think that's when it's coming out.
That would be a godsend for this franchise. Because I never played
August 22nd. Yeah.
Because I never played Mordor.
This is proof that a licensed game can be good too. Because I think this gen, there's only been one other good licensed game, and that was Mad Max. I can't think of any other licensed games that were good. So it's gonna be.
I can't remember either.
Game of the year, I don't think it's gonna be a game of the year contender, but I kind of hope I have to eat those words. But we shall see.
Well, guys, make sure you guys go to our Facebook group page and our Facebook page, Facebook.com/Square Gamers.
Hey, Mike. Hey, before you take it home, we got like a good 3 minutes left. Can we just talk about that update real quick? Because as we've been talking, bro, like one thing I just found in this update is so all your screenshots that you take, you can just go to your screenshots and pick any one of them and post it up on your background, bro. I got this dope-ass Resident Evil screenshot as my background on there, so I just wanted to shout the 4.50 update out.
PS4.
It's on it's on PlayStation 4 live now, I just want to say that.
Well, guys, make sure you hop on your PS4 and you download the update. But make sure you guys go to our Facebook group page, Facebook.com/groups/Square Gamers. You can also go to our Facebook page /the Square Gamers. Check out our YouTube. We have a Nier Automata review coming. We have a For Honor Let's Play. We got Jay talking about Ghost Recon Wildlands. Jay's also doing a Resident Evil jump scare series where he's playing through the game and you get to watch him squirm in his little pants and get frustrated over the very first boss. It's good time, bro.
Jesus.
You want to hit on that, bro? Because your live stream was pretty. That game was fucking intense, and you didn't believe me at first, did you?
Bro, it's so weird though because that boss fight is the only one I struggled with. In fact, I'm getting to some of these late bosses late in the game, and I haven't died one time. So I don't know why I struggle with them so hard. The mechanics on I don't actually. You know what? I don't even want to say it's a little bit spoilerly, but I'm digging the game, so check that out.
Well, guys, this has been a Square Gamers podcast. We'll talk to you guys next week. Peace out.
Later.
Peace.